When Claire suggested dinner at the new Italian restaurant downtown, I didn't read into it. We'd been engaged 6 months, together nearly 4 years, and wedding planning had swallowed every conversation lately. I assumed this was her way of escaping the noise. Just a quiet evening for the two of us. I wore the blue shirt she loved and even booked a table by the window, thinking I was being romantic. The place was warm, softly lit, full of low laughter and the clink of glassware. When she walked in, something felt off. Not bad, just tight. Her usual relaxed smile had turned into something rehearsed, too polite. The look someone wears right before dropping bad news.
We ordered wine.
She kept glancing between her phone, the menu, and me. I tried easing the tension, asking about work, her new project, bridesmaid plans. Her answers were short, distracted. When the waiter left with our order, she finally exhaled, like she'd been holding her breath all night. She looked at me across the table and said, "Ryan, there's something I want to discuss before the wedding." Just hearing that made my chest tighten. She reached into her purse and pulled out a folded sheet of paper. Her fingernails tapped it once before she slid it toward me. "I think it's only fair we protect ourselves," she said softly. "I want a prenup." For a moment, I just stared. The restaurant sounds faded out. "A prenup?" I repeated, keeping my voice steady. She nodded too quickly, eyes darting around instead of meeting mine. "It's just practical. My dad suggested it. It's normal now. Just business." Just business. We'd lived together nearly 3 years. I helped her through graduate school, even paid rent when her internship didn't cover it. I'd spent weekend after weekend repairing the house she inherited, sanding floors, painting rooms, mowing the lawn. Our entire life felt shared, built piece by piece. And now she was sliding a legal document between our pasta and wine. I unfolded it slowly. The words blurred as I read: separation of assets, no claim to her future inheritance, limits on support. I wasn't angry, not yet. Just empty. "When did you write this?" I asked quietly. She hesitated. "A few weeks ago. My dad's lawyer helped draft it." So she'd planned all of this behind my back. I leaned away from the table and looked at her. "You said this was about protecting both of us. What exactly do I have that you need protection from?" She blinked fast. "It's not like that," she said quickly. "You know I trust you. It's just, people change. Things happen. It's safer this way." Safer for who? She actually looked hurt, like I was the unreasonable one. "Ryan, please don't make this dramatic. It's just a document. It doesn't change how I feel about you." I let out a quiet laugh, the kind that isn't funny. "No, Claire. It doesn't change how you feel. It just reveals what you think I might do." She almost argued, then stopped. I could see frustration rising, but underneath it was something else: fear. Fear of losing control. I folded the paper and set it down. When I proposed, I didn't ask for a contract. I asked for a commitment. I thought that's what marriage was: two people betting everything on each other. Her lips parted, but no words came. "So, if you want a prenup," I continued, "maybe you should marry someone you don't trust enough to be with without one." Silence stretched. The waiter showed up with our plates, unaware of the disaster, and placed steaming pasta in front of us. Claire's eyes were shiny. Her fork never moved. "Ryan," she whispered, "don't do this. You're overreacting." I looked at her, really looked at her. The woman I believed I'd grow old with. "No, Claire. I'm finally seeing what's been there all along." The drive home was silent. She offered to drive, but I refused. I needed the night air, the empty roads, the quiet to untangle my thoughts. Every stoplight felt like another question I didn't want to answer. How do you trust someone who already planned the escape route? When we reached the house, she followed me inside, still trying to explain. "Ryan, you're blowing this up. My dad just wanted me to be smart. It's not personal." I set my keys down and turned to her. When someone asks for a prenup, it's always personal. It means they're imagining a future where they need protection from you. She crossed her arms. "You're making it sound like I don't love you." I looked at her, heartbreaking as I asked, "Do you?" I asked, meeting her eyes. Or do you just love the idea of me? The safe, stable guy who makes life easy until it's inconvenient. Her lips quivered, but she didn't answer. Instead, she whispered, "You're twisting this." I walked past her into the living room, my footsteps echoing off the walls. The space felt smaller now. The photos of us laughing at vacations at parties seemed like ghosts of a life already slipping away. "You know what's funny?" I said after a long pause. "I've never cared about money. Not once. And yet, now that you've made it the focus, it's all I can see." She stayed frozen. I could see tears forming, and for a fleeting second, I almost softened. But then I remembered the way she'd slid that paper across the table, practiced, calculated, as if it were another wedding task checked off a list. I walked into the bedroom, opened the closet, and took out the small box where I'd kept her engagement ring receipt, just in case. I opened it and looked at the ring. Simple, elegant. The one she chose herself, after insisting she didn't want surprises. She followed me, her voice shaking. "What are you doing?" "I'm giving you exactly what you asked for," I said, placing the ring gently back in the box. "You want safety? Guarantees?
Fine.
You'll get them." She reached for my arm, trembling.
Please don't do this.
"I didn't mean to hurt you." I looked at her hand on mine. "You didn't hurt me tonight, Claire. You just made me realize you never trusted me to begin with." I walked out, the box in my hand, leaving her standing there. She didn't follow. Maybe she knew it was pointless. The next morning, I dropped the ring at her apartment. No note, no message, just the ring in a small envelope with her name on it. A week passed before she reached out, a long message filled with apologies, explanations, excuses. She said she'd torn up the prenup, told her dad off, and wanted to talk. I read it twice before replying. "I'm not angry, Claire. I just can't marry someone who plans their escape before the vows." A few days later, she tried again, sending a photo of us from happier times.
I didn't respond.
Some silences say more than words ever could. Months went by. I focused on work, on friends I'd neglected, on rebuilding the parts of myself that quietly eroded in that relationship. One night, over a drink with my buddy Evan, he asked, "Do you ever regret walking away?" I thought for a long moment. "No," I said. "I regret believing trust can be signed on paper." He nodded, raising his glass. "You dodged a lifetime of walking on eggshells." I smiled faintly.
Yeah.
Sometimes the hardest no saves you from the worst. Later that night, I sat on my porch, watching the city lights flicker in the distance. Love isn't supposed to be a contract. It's a choice renewed every day, not notarized in advance. Maybe someday I'll meet someone who understands that. Someone who doesn't confuse protection with partnership. Until then, I'll keep my peace, my dignity, and my trust, not in someone else, but in the knowledge that I had the strength to walk away the moment love became negotiable.